There is understandably confusion about media literacy when the topic comes up, what it means, why it's important, and that confusion is not something to be ridiculed. As consumers, we're not exactly made privy to the way art works, how it's made, and how it influences us psychologically, or why art is even important to our culture. So, today I'm going to be reading an excerpt from an article which very well details my thoughts on art criticism and the direction art is headed, and why I find that concerning. I will be linking the full article in the description, which I highly recommend giving a read if it interests you. The increasing consolidation of the modern entertainment industry by a small clique of multinational streaming giants is the next step in what Max Horkheimer and Theodore Adorno call the standardization of style in mass-consumed art. Style is not content, nor is it form. It is above these elements. It shapes and contains them. Style is the personal manipulation of content and form by which an artist encodes their individual vision into their work. In the modern film industry, however, style is standardized with the same technocratic rationality that excuses the gross exploitation of laborers in the name of profit maximization. In the technocratic mindset, style becomes another frontier to conquer, another border to violently force into a profitable homogeneity whose structures can be relied on to generate massive revenues for the industry, while limiting the avenues by which a consumer can discover a new critical consciousness through art. Netflix and other streaming giants are the apotheosis of the drive for a mass culture governed entirely by the logic of technocratic profit maximization. The film industry has, of course, long been controlled by profit-driven corporations that impose easily digestible story formulae onto their artists. A relatable protagonist, a charming love interest, a typical 3-act structure, and so on. However, Netflix's employment of an algorithmic method as its dictator of style is the inevitable reduction of a technocratic system in which all responsibility is faithfully deferred to machine processes that humans have imbued with infallible omnipotence. Cary Fukunaga, director of the Netflix original series Maniac, admitted as much in a press interview with GQ magazine. Because Netflix is a data company, he said, they know exactly how their viewers watch things, so they can look at something you're writing and say, we know based on our data, if you do this, we will lose this many viewers. So it's a different kind of note-giving. It's not like, let's discuss this and maybe I'm gonna win. The algorithm's argument is gonna win at the end of the day. He then added, it was an amazing exercise. I have no doubt the algorithm will be right. The Walt Disney Company, the world's second largest entertainment company after Comcast Corporation, has long deferred its story-making processes to artificial intelligence technologies. In 2017, the company used AI neural networks to scan a database of stories from the answer site Quora, interpreting upvotes as a proxy for narrative quality, and analyzing the highest rated posts for consistent structures and events that could explain user popularity. The goal of this analysis was to fine-tune Disney's attempts to predict the popularity of certain content and forms. In this regard, the company has also utilized factorized variational autoencoders, or FVAEs, to film the facial responses of viewers during screenings in order to predict emotional reactions to on-screen events, and therefore use this information to generate stories that more addictively manipulate the consumer's emotions. Emotional manipulation is a crucial component of film, the advertising industry, and mass marketing in general. But the technocratization of this manipulation is reaching new heights with the ubiquity of behavioral analysis and cybernetic feedback technologies that seek to create personalized viewing experiences for their consumers. That is, in essence, viewers will be consistently fed near identical story elements and narrative structures, and will never be challenged to engage with the content on a deeper intellectual level. William Burroughs was thus correct when he wrote that Western man is externalizing himself in the form of gadgets. But he might have added that this externalization of human creativity, of emotion, of basal urges, is being managed by an exploitative upper class with the goal of efficiently extracting revenues from a passive, easily soothed populace. It would be untruthful to say that there are not a handful of filmmakers with truly singular styles working within these structures. David Lynch may be the most prominent example. But their assimilation into streaming services is used to reify, not undermine, the dominant standardization of style. Filmmakers such as these are included as the token weird, surreal, or otherwise reductively defined artists who, as the embodiment of a particular fringe style, help entrench rather than subvert the degrading status quo of mainstream cultural productions. As movie theaters have taken a blow due to COVID-19 closures and lockdown measures, and the use of streaming services becomes even more globally widespread than during the pre-pandemic era, it would not be unreasonable to assume that the future of mass entertainment will be in the algorithm-driven, AI-produced filmic productions of Netflix, Disney+, and others. In short, streaming giants and multinational media companies will continue to subjugate content and form, style, to impersonal technologies whose only purpose is to calculate the profitability of each potential investment. Style is being ground to dust in the gears of an authoritarian mass media technocracy. It is being weaponized to placate rather than challenge. It is being rendered totally subservient to new structures of mechanical reproducibility, or perhaps more accurately, algorithmic reproducibility, which are solely guided by increasingly sophisticated technologies of profit maximization. The Frankfurt School understood that the logic of capital inevitably crushes all uncommodifiable elements of style and replaces them with an easily digestible product lacking in all edifying qualities. Adorno lamented that the standardization of style produced works that were anathema to great artists like Samuel Beckett and Franz Kafka, in whose work he saw a singular and irreplicable mimesis of the human condition, as opposed to a rigid template of profitability. He and Horkheimer note that, in many pre-capitalist societies, works of art were revered as magic, something spiritual, a manifestation of mana. In the case of the modern film industry, however, all of art's indefinable qualities have been eradicated. According to their historical analysis, the film industry impresses its conventions onto the consciousness of viewers in a way that reproduces, but does not expand, their minds. The films are so constructed, they write, that their adequate comprehension requires a quick, observant, knowledgeable cast of mind, but positively debars the spectators from thinking. They can be alertly consumed, even in a state of distraction. The productive modes by which the film industry's commodities are deemed readily consumable by audiences, and therefore profitable for the producers, incentivize sameness, resulting in comforting, easily understandable films that soothe workers rather than challenging them, that totally lack the indefinable mana of the past. In this way, the sameness of the Hollywood film industry and the streaming services of today are not simply a calculation to maximize profit, they are also the means by which the capitalist system reproduces itself. Entertainment is the prolongation of work under late capitalism, Horkheimer and Adorno assert. It is sought by those who want to escape the mechanized labor processes so that they can cope with it again. Therefore, in societies dominated by the culture industry, film represents the reproduction of capitalist labor relations through the negation of critical consciousness. Film is indeed escape, write Horkheimer and Adorno, but not, as it claims, escape from bad reality. It is escape from the last thought of resisting that reality.